Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Tribal Trades, the altcoin show, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to ask the question, is the bull run over for altcoins? Are we going into a bear market for altcoins? And is it only a bull run for Bitcoin? Now, we answered the Bitcoin bull run question in the previous show, so please watch that out. But before we jump into all of that and more, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, does help support the channel, as does your amazing, wonderful comments that you leave. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it and respond. Really appreciate it. And of course, those ask questions in the comment section. I do get back to those as soon as I am able to. But if you'd like more immediate engagement, interaction with me, you can find me in the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all, and that will be closing this week. This is your last chance to join me in the Tribal Trades Discord. We will be closing that off. It is an exclusive, limited, by design, smaller, more intimate environment Discord. And so many of you have been joining as the waitlist has been coming in, and I've been releasing you into the Discord there, but we are going to be closing that off. And then next week we start with our live sessions in the Discord. That's going to be so exciting. Of course, I'm still in the Stocks with Josh Discord as usual. And of course, I got my own Crown Traders channel in there still, where I share education, resources, insights, some of my trade setups, and entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education, entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? So let's just jump into some interesting items and news. And of course, to start with, we have here the decoupling of Bitcoin and the crypto markets. I've been sharing this for a little while, and I've been talking for many, many months how there are too many coins and not enough money in the crypto markets. This has been a massive altcoin flush out. And if anything, this could have taught us is to be in the right altcoins, which are the ones that have rebounded strongly, which is the ones that have dipped the least, which are the ones that are still above some of those key moving averages that we talk about almost every day here on the show. Are altcoins in a bear market? I think there's a 1 to 3% chance that altcoins are now in a bear market, but I do think that some altcoins are going to be in a bear market and they will just die off and go to zero. Most will, in fact, historically that's the case. And just to be in the right altcoins, only the strong will survive. I mean, this is another very good infographic here, by the way. And by the way, if you're in my Tribal Trades Discord, before the dump, about two and a half hours before the dump, I shared, I'm sitting on my hands. Probably the best play today. Let the bleeding out finish. And boy, did it finish out with a colossal capitulation to the downside. And so this was something I shared in the Discord, one of many things. This is the infographic here that I thought is very interesting. And by the way, this was some collapse. We saw 2.15 billion liquidated from the crypto market, making it the worst liquidation event in history over a 24-hour liquidation. But you could say to yourself to the question, is Bitcoin here and are altcoins here? And this is the concern that many people have. Maybe Bitcoin is here, and Bitcoin is here in my opinion, but we always have to consider that it's here. But there's been a decoupling in the market, and we have to be very careful with our altcoins. And we saw with Bitcoin dominance, I mean, look, here's the deal. Bitcoin dominance, people were jumping from altcoins into Bitcoin and record numbers. In fact, we hit 64% there in Bitcoin dominance, smashing through the previous high. Now, Bitcoin dominance normally tops out in November or December, topped out in November, and then we have altcoin season in February. Well, we're not seeing an altcoin season in February, and maybe we're not going to see an altcoin season in February quite like we've had before. I do think we can see some upside for altcoins, but possibly now the 4-year cycle for altcoins could be changed or broken or different, and we do have to trade it that way. And this is why a lot of people, now we obviously haven't seen a close yet on this particular candle, and so we could still close under here, but we certainly wicked up really high because people are realizing, I mean, here's what I've been saying for a long time. You look at XRP. Okay, great. It's had a pump from November to January. Now, not so good, like a lot of the altcoins. But for 6 years, it was down against Bitcoin, yet people kept holding it. Why? And kept buying it. Why? It made no sense year after year after year. And still, even after it's pumped this year, and early this year and last year, it's still down over 90% against Bitcoin over that time frame. So make it make sense. People have married their bags. That makes no sense. Ethereum has been heavily down against Bitcoin for 3. Why hold Ethereum? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I after Ethereum hit 4,000, I'm like, I'm out. And I got out, and then I got out more at my last bags. I sold around somewhere between 3,400 to 3,600 back in July, I believe. And I rolled it into Sui at like 70 cents and made, obviously a large percentage move to the upside there. It went to $5.35. I don't even know what percentage that move is. And ETH is low. ETH was lower when Sui was $5.35. ETH was lower than when I sold it. It just make sense. And so, yes, Ethereum has, and look, if you've held Ethereum to this point, you're probably just thinking, I'm just going to hold on because surely it's going to have some kind of a run at some point. But I think some people just kind of gave up. The ETH chart looks like a disaster. And I said to people, does ETH need to pump to have an altcoin season? I don't think so. We're seeing some alts rebound pretty well. And, this is, I shared on Josh's show, I was saying 2,500. That's where the 200 weekly moving average, not the 200 day. The 200 day is up here. I mean, we're close to, we're not far away from a death cross for Ethereum here. Okay. So look, and I know people who might be holding Ethereum bags are going to go, oh my gosh. Look, I still think Ethereum can get back to its previous all-time high and above. But if it's me and I had Ethereum, I'm probably looking to try and get out at break even, whatever my break even was, or in a little bit of profit. Somewhere around up here would be ideally where I would be looking at trying to get out, or even here, depending on what your cost basis is. But this is what I shared on the show with Josh last night. I shared, look, here's we come down, test, boom, and break down. And in fact, you could have, it melted through 2,500 and went all the way down to 2,000. So I think those who are long on Ethereum got liquidated. I don't want people coming on here and saying, oh, you said to sell my ETH. I didn't say to sell your ETH. I have ETH. I'm not selling it because I've held that part of my ETH portfolio for so long. I might as well just keep holding it. And I do think at some point, we could see this come and have some upside for Ethereum, okay? I'm just saying that those of you who held for, if we look at the ETH BTC chart, who held all through this here, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense at all. You just should have been in Bitcoin like I was. I mean, just the capitulation for 3 years, you're holding an asset that just goes down against Bitcoin when you could have just been holding Bitcoin there. We just truly dropped out of the channel there completely. But look at just how the downtrend has been from November 2021. It's just been on a real capitulation there. And if we actually look at ETH dominance, this would be very interesting to look and see. We probably dropped below 10%. It's just people are exiting this coin from 20%. It used to have 20% of the market. Now it has 10% of the market. That's not good. If this was a stock, I mean, my goodness. I just think people get married to their bags. They don't want to cut and loss. Sometimes you just have to cut the losers and add to the winners. And again, I'm not advocating people selling their ETH at what is probably the bottom for ETH in this dump, and we may not see it go lower here, and there's probably upside. Now, of course, we could see some more capitulation there in the market, but I think the worst is over there with that. So, yeah, we've really seen some downside. Let's look at total 2. Now, this is the altcoin market, the entire altcoin market. It's just minus Bitcoin. And we see here, we wicked under the 200 simple moving average, and we're still stuck under the 200 EMA, and we lost the 100 simple moving average. Total 3 is better. I mean, without the altcoin market is better without ETH. Okay, it's better without ETH. It's performing better than ETH. Okay, total 2 is being dragged down completely by ETH. Look at total 3. It's above the 200 EMA and just lost the 100-day simple, and it only wicked into there. If you look at total 2, we're under there, and so others chart is a shocking mess at the moment. At least we're being held up by the 200, and this is removing all the top 10 altcoins from there. And so, yeah, you can just see your meme coins. Those are all your meme coins and your AI agent, which most of them are junk, by the way. There are some quality meme coins and AI agent coins in there that most of them are worthless and will go to zero either in this bull run or in the bear market. This is why I warned. I warned on this channel before all this capitulation. I was getting out of the junk coins. I said I was going into less coins. Oh man, I got so many comments on YouTube, even in the Discord. Why did you sell this and you sell that and whatever? And because I want less coins to manage for situations like this. I want more liquidity in the stronger coins. And I dumped a lot of those more speculative, gambling, high risk lotto play coins. And those coins have absolutely been destroyed, as you can see from here. So we look at total 3. This is where I have my hope in total 3, is that we can get back above here, but I think there's going to be a retest here first. And retest, usually there's a little bit of, and this could be where we retest and then come back down a little bit. And that's why I was sharing in the Bitcoin show that we could see a little bit. I think the worst is over or close to being over for altcoins, but we could just kind of pause for a moment for the RSIs to reset. We see we're in the floor here to reset a little bit, and also for the funding rates that are negative to reset. And then we could eat up some of this wick. Usually some of these wicks, this wick here will get eaten up, usually not on the same day. So we want to close this, wait for tomorrow and the next day and see if some of this wick, sometimes all the wick gets open up, but I could think maybe some of this wick gets come down to the 200 EMA on the daily again. There could happen at some point. This wick here, and we're going to see it, whether it's in the bull market or in the bear market, we're going to see that get filled. And I was showing that on my show earlier with Bitcoin, that Bitcoin actually, I said, this wick on Bitcoin that happened on January the 13th, it's a big wick. And usually those wick get partially or fully filled. And look what happened for Bitcoin. We saw that wick get partially filled. I'll show you that exactly here. There's the wick right there. And we've seen it come down to get partially filled, but we haven't filled it in. We've created a new wick here. Okay. So look what happened here. This got partially filled. And now we've got a new wick over here. I would expect this to be at least partially filled, if not fully filled. Usually they don't get fully filled. Okay, usually it's a partial fill of the wick, by the way. Sometimes they do, but most of the time, particularly in a bull run. So as I've expected, we could see a little bit more of a dead cat bounce that might allow some people to get out of some leverage positions or get out of some coins that they want to be out of and roll into stronger projects. We could see a bit of a dead cat bounce here, but we could see that come down. I wouldn't expect a lower low there. So I would say the same thing. If we're looking at total 2, let's go back to the total 2 chart here. I could expect possibly the same thing here. Let's go to the daily, is we could see total 2. Yeah, total 2. Oh, sorry, total 3. I could see that this over the next day or two, we could come down and fill and come down to here, but not necessarily all the way down there. Of course, that's a possibility, but I wouldn't expect such a violent move. It would be more like a close. We need a close to fill that. Otherwise, if we had another wick, then we create another event where there has to be filled there, or it doesn't have to be filled, but generally they do. So my overall feel for the altcoin market is that we aren't yet in a bear market for altcoins overall as a market, like total 3. The others, I'm not so sure. The others are kind of struggling a lot, but I think a lot of people are exiting the others and are moving into total 3. And I would be more in total 3 coins. I don't want to be in Ethereum, and I don't want to be in meme coins. I want to be in those top coins, the Suis, the Solanas, the Potenza Taos. I know some of you also are in other coins that are top 10, top 15, top 20 projects. Not saying Shiba Inu, absolutely not. Those of you holding Dogecoin, for example, although I'm not a holder of Dogecoin, I still think it can get to $1 in this bull run, for example. OEM is another one that I think has been a very strong token. I mean, look at this. I mean, OEM has to be one of the strongest tokens out there. There is the bull flag that it broke out from. We've come back and we retested the 20 EMA on the daily. We have the 50 EMA. It's above all its moving averages. Show me a stronger altcoin in the market right now. Absolutely incredible. There wasn't really much of a dip to buy unless you're going to buy this dip here, and that was a dip for ants. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let me know in your comments Are the altcoins in a bear market? Do you think there's been a proper decoupling, and are the altcoins in a bear market, or do you think we're still going to see a bullish run for February? I still think altcoins are going to have a bullish run for February. As I've been saying all along, I think the lesser projects, maybe not, but I think if you're in the stronger projects, there should be some upside for February. But I'm going to be aggressively taking profits out there. I'm treating everything like a swing trade or a scalping trade where I'm getting in and out of trades, selling at the tops, buying back at the bottoms, and not being overexposed in this market, which is a very, very heavy Bitcoin market right now. It's not an altcoin market. It's not alt season. It's Bitcoin season. Trade accordingly. All right, until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.